Right. Hi, I'm Guy Burns, and I lead the digital experience design practice out of our San Francisco office. I'm extremely grateful to have been a part of the executive development program this year. I have learned so many things, and it is so many things to so many people. I think what I'm most grateful for is that I learned to believe in my leadership skills, the skills that I had begun to doubt as I came into a leadership position under fire. I learned to be a better communicator, leader, and mentor. I came to a better understanding of how leaders build and support a strong culture. And one of EDP's most powerful lessons for me was a single word. I learned about the whirlwind. The whirlwind represents the fast-moving pace of our business and the constant barrage of projects, tasks, and challenges that we deal with every single day. Why is such a simple term so important? Because it gives us a handle by which we can actually begin to discuss what I feel is one of Epsilon's biggest cultural challenges. The whirlwind is near and dear to me, because in my office's post-acquisition environment, I've had a fairly steady erosion of leadership all around me. And over the past year, I've done my best to fill anywhere from 2 to 4 management roles simultaneously. One moment I'm wearing my user experience hat, the next moment I get to be a creative director. At all times, I'm trying to make a good impression, either on our clients or to set a good example for my team. And this doesn't even begin to touch upon the project-related or administrative aspects of my job. But this isn't just about me. I don't have a single coworker who isn't constantly struggling to complete their task list every day. Talking to my EDP classmates from all across Epsilon, they feel fairly confident this is a pretty common scenario. But being busy is good, right? To a point, yes. But we're all so busy that it takes significant discipline and effort simply to put one foot in front of the other and think of better, more efficient ways to do our jobs. We're so busy that we're not giving our clients the best of ourselves. We're so busy checking expected deliverables off of a list that it's easy to fall into the role of vendor instead of strategic partner. Even more devastating for the long-term health of Epsilon, we're so focused on checking off those deliverables that we're not taking time to build a real culture, to create human connections, to enjoy our jobs and the camaraderie of our teams beyond whatever it takes to meet the next deadline. The good news is that EDP, nice word wrap. All right. The good news is that EDP is already That's what I get for using a different font. Okay. With each graduating class, there are more managers spreading good management techniques across the company. There are more managers stepping back from the whirlwind, at least occasionally, in order to set a vision for their team, take ownership of their team's culture, and to build trust. Perhaps most importantly, they're setting a good example, or at least we try. Okay, but seriously, how do you control the whirlwind? The answer is you don't. You can manage it. The whirlwind is a force of nature, or if you prefer, a part of the nature of big business. The whirlwind is always there. It'll be there in an hour, tomorrow, next week, next year. What you have control over is how you respond to it. It's important to take time away and focus on longer-term planning. Close your office door, go to work for an hour in the coffee shop next door, take a work-from-home day. The world won't end, I promise. And just make sure somebody has the right contact info in case fire does break out. This is a surprisingly effective tactic when it's not overused. But frankly, it's also a little passive-aggressive. There's a more direct method that I think has a lasting and positive impact. We can empower ourselves and our employees to say no. That's a powerful word. It's a feared word. One that gets a bad rap, in my opinion. It's not to be used lightly, and it may take some time for each employee to learn how to use it safely. But it's essential to a healthy workplace. Employees have to be able to say no and to feel that it will be respected. When an employee doesn't feel like they can say no, they begin to feel trapped and disrespected. And that's when they start looking for more work. Hopefully it goes without saying that no must be said politely and diplomatically. It's also important to recognize that no isn't the end of the discussion, it's the beginning of a negotiation. It's the beginning of determining a more reasonable, efficient, and, dare I say, sane approach to our daily business. So you don't control the whirlwind, you manage it. And you do so through open communication, negotiation, and strong organizational skills. And this touches on my second major realization coming out of EDP. They gave us all a book titled, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I'm not going to lie, I haven't read the whole thing. I've read bits and pieces of it, but honestly, I feel like one of the most important points is right there in the title. Moving into management is a major mind shift. As you move higher in management, your job becomes more about communication, negotiation, motivation, and organization. It's far less about producing deliverables. One of the points the book makes is that as a manager, most of your problems are behavioral rather than executional. My job is to continually get better at communication in both small and large groups. My job is to facilitate the creation of a vision for the team and then communicate that vision within the team, within the broader company, and to our clients. Each of those audiences requires a different communication style. And each member of each audience has their own individual communication style. And my job is to do my best to take all of that into consideration. My job is to step outside of my analytical comfort zone and to better communicate with the amiables, drivers, and expressives of the world. Make no mistake that this is hard work, and I think most of you here know that. We tend to value our work by whatever tangible product comes at the end of it. But as a manager, our work product is every single interaction. Whether in person, via email, or a presentation like this one, we must value our internal work and our internal work as much as our external work. I go home at the end of my days completely drained. Not because of the number of deliverables I've produced, but because I am constantly performing my job in every interaction, large or small, throughout the day. My job is to manage the whirlwind, using my wits and my communication skills, in order to protect my team so that they can focus on producing the deliverables that show their expertise and make our clients happy. So as I move forward from EDP, I'm already grateful for the change in mindset that this course has facilitated within me. I'm learning to manage the whirlwind and occasionally step away from it to build a better future for Epsilon, my team, and myself. I hope that today I've given you some insight into the way that I look at work and how that has evolved thanks to EDP. But if there's one thing I want each of you to walk away from this presentation with, it's understanding that the whirlwind is a significant challenge for Epsilon's culture. How will you manage the whirlwind, and how will you use your EDP training to do so? Will you let it control your everyday, or will you be willing to say no and work on a better solution? The decision is yours.